the most tense moment in the chronology. Liftoff is really a very special moment indeed.
So we are here, Paris and Kourou, witnessing this liftoff. We see the first mast pulling away from the launch vehicle. We will now remain silent during the liftoff, and we'll be back in a few moments.
Largage du VKM, allumage du triétage. À tous de vidéo, attention pour le décompte final. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, top, décollage.
Nos caméras arrivent encore à suivre Soyuz.
So you see our cameras are still tracking the Soyuz, the launcher beyond the clouds canopy with its engines. So can we describe in detail this atmospheric phase of the launch?
Yes, the atmospheric flight sequence is flight phase is said to be quite set. It doesn't change from flight to flight. The objective is really to guarantee the structural resilience of the launcher with the nil angle of attack here, nil inclination, and the monitoring of this whole flight is authorized and made possible thanks to a very important operation, which is that of CDI. This is the real-time visual control, and these controls that checks that the flight is nominal, that is as expected, and allows to tell the clients and confirm to the clients that the flight has gone as planned. So data comes via the downward branch stations spread all over the world, and will be and these centers is downward.
Announce the separation of the boosters. It's still there on the screen, and this is happening right in front of your eyes. We've just seen the separation of the 4 boosters. So Soyuz was 300 tons heavy, and in a matter of 2 minutes it lost over half of its weight. It's totally nominal, is that according to plan?
Confirmation of separation of lateral boosters.
So Remy is connected to the CVI, so throughout the video transmission you will be relaying any confirmation or milestones announced by the CVI. A few words about what is at the top of the launcher, that is the fairing.
To clarify that we don't always see these separations so just as clearly as we've just seen.
It's incredible. It's still visible at 2 minutes 45 after the launch liftoff.
Indeed, the fairing is there is designed to protect the satellite from air frictions in the atmospheric phase. And when we reach the limit of the atmosphere, and when we reach space, we no longer need a structure to protect satellites. So will shed the will separate the fairing, shedding weight in the process, dead weight we don't need for the next part of the mission.
And as we fly into the sky, we remove the dead weights.
Absolutely, this is a very principle of the launch operations, and this is quite an essential sequence, because can you imagine if the fairing doesn't work properly, then and when we want to separate the satellite, I think we would have a bit of a problem.
Quite so, separation of the fairing is a very important event with the 2 half fairings splitting apart. We could talk more about the specificity of this fairing as the SPS special tropical.
Absolutely, this fairing has been developed in cooperation with Russia in the framework of Soyuz cooperation in French Guiana, and the objective was to have an equivalent volume to that of under the Ariane 4 for fairing. So that's 11 meters in height, 4 meters in diameters in terms of this fairing. That we can say is the manufacturer of these fairing. And here, this is a simulation. Let us point this out, but we need to wait for confirmation.
And as you just said, it's important, separation of the fairing.
As Raphael indicated, this is a very important stage in this process.
Just pointed out, the images we see, the 3D images you have on your screens are according to the flight program, and we've just seen the extinction of the lower stage and the hot separation, that is the upper engine has switched on, and Soyuz is continuing on its way. It's the hot separation, as we call it.
Confirmation of separation of Block A.
So it's a sun-synchronous orbit. We went straight towards the north with Soyuz. During these, it's like the ball of yarn that runs regularly above the north and the south
pole. This is a
pole.
low orbit, a circular orbit between 400 and 900 kilometers in altitude. It is very often used by Earth's observation satellite, and what's unique about it is that satellites will fly over a specific spot in the air of Paris, let's say every day at 2 p.m. It's very handy because you can take pictures at a given location, same conditions of sunlight, and you can compare and contrast images one after the other. And this is also why we're aiming at a defined moment on liftoff, because it is like on-spot locations, on the right locations, at the right moment.
Thank you for these explanations. We now join Anthony Blue in Kourou, who met Cyril Pontrin. I'm here with Cyril Pontrin. You are Mission Director for Air and Space. How did the campaigns for the VS-25 went dormant for 10 months? How did you organize Air and Space?
Well, the first question we looked into was that whether we should the satellites in Guyana when, given the costs and technical constraints, it was decided to lead the satellites to the Guyana Space Center, then the checkout test equipment, electronic base, and now the implementation of the satellites. So very quickly it was decided to return these to Toulouse as a part of the construction of the third satellite, CSO-3.
So could you give us a few examples of operations?
Well, cryostat is an example. It is a cooling device for the satellite, very sensitive equipment, and in June and in August, teams from Toulouse came to French Guyana to carry out maintenance activity of this cryostat.
10 months is a long time. Did you have to redo everything?
Absolutely. Our operations resumed, notably activities related to maintenance of satellites, and some of the satellite equipment had a lifespan that had been expired, and notably the pyrotechnic devices required the opening of a solar array, and these activities, these operations kept us busy in the second part of this campaign.
It's just between Christmas and New Year for the teams also. It must have been quite complicated.
I'd like to stress the extreme commitment of the teams, both from the Guyana Space Center and the Russian teams, because this period is favorable to resting with your family, but the objectives for in space was to have 2 liftoffs for Soyuz and Vega. It was the end of the year, and everything went well.
And tomorrow will be also a very important day.
Yes, first day of chronology for Soyuz, and it's quite special because between transfer launch to liftoff, that's 4 days, and all activities are perfectly identified in its schedule to the very minute.
Thank you so much, Cyril. Back to Paris and the studio to follow the rest of the show. Thank you, Anthony. Well, indeed, Soyuz is still on track. You heard the DDO. It's like giving us the main thread. Everything is nominal. Everything is going according to plan. Soon will be the separation of Block I. It has already happened, actually. It's going so fast. And now
we have confirmation of separation of Block I. Soyuz has now done its job by injecting the frigate on a suborbital orbit.
So the nose module is the upper composite, that is frigate, with, of course, the CSO satellite hooked onto it. So Soyuz is injecting the upper composite onto a sub-orbit intermediate.
Yes, as René stated, the 3-stage has completed its mission. The frigate is kind of considered as a payload like any other for the launcher, and will take over and will take the satellite on its operational and circular orbit. For the time being, we are on an intermediate trajectory, suborbital orbit, as René stated.
And in a few moments, we will see the first ignition of the frigate orbital vehicle. It will be happening on, according to plan, it's happening right now. So the first boost or first burn, as we should say. So clarifications about this this upper stage.
So pre-burn, nominal pre-burn, and that's the frigate now.